Hello, and welcome to Get Sleepy, where we listen, we relax, and we get sleepy. I'm your host, Thomas. Thanks for tuning in. We have an imaginative journey tonight that Heather will be narrating. Botticelli's Primavera is considered to be one of the great masterpieces of the Italian Renaissance. It's an allegory for spring, love, and transformation. As we journey into the world of the painting, we'll experience all the mythology, symbolism, and beauty firsthand. You'll become a participant in this famous scene that is known and loved throughout the world. So make any adjustments you need to ensure you're as comfortable as can be. Whether you're feeling suitably tired already and drifting along that pleasant border between wakefulness and sleep, or whether you're still somewhat wired from your day, just know that sleep will come whenever the time is right. There's no need to feel anxious, and there's no need to force anything. Simply lay back, relax, and enjoy the sanctuary of rest. Even before you fall asleep, you're giving your body a chance to relax and recharge just by laying down and letting go. Be as present as you can in the here and now. Take a deep breath in, feeling the way your body moves with the airflow, and gently ease it back out, letting tension melt away with the exhale. It's time for me to hand over to Heather for our adventure into art history. You don't need to worry about anything or go anywhere. This story happens exactly where you are. So just continue relaxing, easing into the comfort of your bed, and accept that sleep will come naturally when the time is right.
Our story tonight begins right here in your bed. Imagine that you've spent part of your day learning about Italian Renaissance art. You were captivated by one painting in particular, Botticelli's famous Primavera. This magnificent tempera on wood painting was completed between the late 1470s and the early 1480s. It's a large piece, standing at 6.5 feet by 10 feet, or 2 by 3 meters. Alessandro di Mariano Filippi, known more commonly as Botticelli, was one of the most esteemed artists in Florence at the height of the Renaissance. After being commissioned by the Pope to paint segments of the Sistine Chapel in Rome, he turned his attention to mythological scenes. Hundreds of years later, these paintings, which include the birth of Venus, and Primavera are what he is best known for. Primavera is particularly impressive for its masterful use of symbolism from both the natural world and literature. This beautiful spring scene is fresh in your mind as you lie in bed and start to doze off. As you enter that liminal space between being awake and being asleep, reality becomes fuzzier. You see Primavera hanging on a wall in front of you. It has a beautiful gold wooden frame and is hanging in an ornately decorated room. It is the only piece of art here. You move toward it to get a better view. The painting is large, and the figures depicted in it are life-sized. As you get closer, you can't help but look directly at the goddess Venus, who is the central figure in the painting. Venus is the Roman goddess of love, beauty, fertility, and prosperity. While 8 other figures surround her, there is a clear, unobstructed view of Venus. She has long golden hair, and her full-figured frame is clothed in a royal blue gown and a deep red drape. She is the embodiment of beauty. You look at her, and seemingly, she looks right back at you. You see her right hand lifted in a welcoming gesture. As you continue to gaze at her, you see her hand begin to move as if she's telling you to come toward her. You pause for a second, not sure if you've just imagined the movement. But then she does it again. This time, she also winks at you. You take another step toward the painting, and as you do, you begin to see right into its colors and textures, as if it were coming to life in front of your eyes. Venus reaches out to take your hand and pulls you right in. You find yourself in a lush meadow with hundreds of different types of flowers blooming around you. Some of the pink, red, yellow, and white blooms are familiar to you, and some you have never seen before. Venus smiles at you and gestures for you to look more closely at the beautiful scenery. The flowers are delicately nudging their way up through the grass and decorating the foreground of the scene with bright pops of color. You also detect the unmistakable scent of spring bloom. You smell roses, jasmine, lavender, violets, and lilies all around you. The sun is warm and there is not a cloud in sight. If there ever was an ideal spring scene, this is definitely it. You close your eyes for a moment and let the beauty of this place sink in. As you do, you take a relaxing, deep, slow breath in and full breath out. When you open your eyes, you begin to study the figures in front of you. You know who they are, and you are familiar with the story that is unfolding. This painting was commissioned by the famous Medici family. It's commonly believed they had it made as a gift for Lorenzo, a young family member on his wedding day. The Medicis were a famous banking family and a political dynasty who ruled Florence in the 15th century. Primavera later hung in the couple's bedroom above their bed. It is an allegory of spring and the rebirth of life. It celebrates marriage, fertility, and transformation. An allegory is an image depicting symbolic characters and objects that the viewer has to decipher to reveal a moral message. Now that you've stepped inside the scene, you feel you have an innate understanding of its story. You know about the artist Botticelli and how his skillful portraits helped him gain the patronage of the powerful Medici family. Botticelli was a master of mythological themes, inspired partly by classical literature and sculpture, and partly by the Renaissance quest for the ideal human figure. The artist was known to have loved a local girl with sweeping golden curls and elegant curves. Many believed he was so enamored by her that he painted all of the female figures in this painting in her likeness. You notice how the graceful female forms around you create a sense of musicality throughout the composition. With the exception of Venus, who maintains a steady outward gaze, all of the other figures are in movement. This showcases Botticelli's exceptional talent as an artist and his ability to capture human forms in many different positions. While the foreground of the painting is brightly lit and flourishing with life, the background is darker in color. Beyond the figures is a grove of orange trees, as well as laurel, myrtle, and other greenery. You know that many of the plants depicted in this painting have specific symbolism. Oranges were a symbol of the Medici family, and laurel, a symbol of victory, has similar alliteration to Lorenzo in Italian. Botanists have in fact identified over 500 different species of flowers and plants in this one piece of art. Walking towards the orange grove, you are met with a cool breeze, which carries the delightful scent of fresh citrus. As the wind stirs around you, you look up to see Zephyr, descending on the far right of the painting. Zephyr is the Greek god of the west wind and the messenger of spring. He is emerging from the tree-lined background to claim the nymph Chloris as his bride. Chloris is shown in a diaphanous dress with a vine flowering from her mouth. As Zephyr embraces her, she transforms into Flora, the Roman goddess of flowers and the personification of spring. Flora stands between Chloris and Venus in the painting, wearing a beautiful flowing gown with a floral pattern. She has a bunch of roses gathered in her dress and is throwing them onto the grass. Each handful of rose petals billows into the air and lightly plops onto the earth. This offering of flowers is symbolic of both springtime and new life. Flora also wears a crown and necklace of flowers. The sleeves of her dress appear to be made of dragonfly wings. Golden scales cover her forearms. Decorative plumes fan out at the elbows, where the golden wings meet the flowing silken fabric of the upper sleeve. You are amazed by the intricacy and artistic skill showcased in Flora's dress. Now, you look at the first three figures on the right side of the painting as a unit. Together, they are meant to represent the beginning of spring. You take another deep breath in and full breath out and begin to contemplate the symbolism of early spring. The blossoming flowers and the metamorphosis of the figures. It is a clear depiction of transformation and growth. Now that you are seeing it up close, you can really appreciate the rich and complex system of symbols and allegories in this painting. The Renaissance was a high artistic season where painting, literature, and philosophy were intertwined. It marked a return to what were commonly perceived to be classical themes at the time, and an aim to see beauty in everything. It was also an era that prioritized humanism over divinity. The Medicis were prolific patrons of the arts who famously commissioned pieces with pagan rather than religious themes. This can be seen in the central figure of this painting, Venus. Venus stands in the middle of the composition and is slightly behind and higher than the other figures in the foreground. It is clear that she is the centerpiece as she looks straight out at the viewer. The trees behind her part in a way that resembles a halo or an arboreal apse. In architecture, an apse is a semicircular recess covered by a semidome. This composition is something that would typically be seen in religious art, as the Virgin Mary is often framed by an apse. Mary is also typically depicted wearing red and blue, just like Venus is in Primavera. This play of Christian and pagan symbolism is unique to the Renaissance. In this painting, Venus is a symbol of love, beauty, and marriage, while Flora represents new love, potential, and early spring. Venus represents motherhood and the full embodiment of the season. Above Venus is her son, Cupid, a winged and blindfolded cherub. In classical mythology, Cupid is the god of desire, love, attraction, and affection. He has his arrow aimed squarely at chastity, one of the three graces to the left. His blindfold reminds us of the old adage that love is blind. Just to the left of Venus and Cupid are the three graces: beauty, chastity, and love. They each wear flowing dresses, revealing their graceful forms. Their fingers intertwine at three different points as they dance in a circle. The circular composition indicates continuity, rhythm, and harmony. It also showcases Botticelli's skill as an artist, as he depicts the sisters from three different angles. This composition mimics a sculpture, yet there is a clear sense of fluidity, elegance, and flow. The three graces were a popular theme from literature at the time, so admirers of Primavera would have been familiar with their story. From right to left, the first figure is Beauty, who is the most adorned of the three. She wears a crown of pearls, symbolizing purity, as well as an elegant golden pendant necklace. She looks back toward Zephyr. In the middle is Chastity, who gazes directly at the god Mercury and wears no jewelry. On the left is Love. Together, the three graces symbolize classical feminine virtues and different stages of love. As you gaze at them, you are struck by a sense of harmony and musicality. You find it fascinating that their three distinct forms come together to make one symbolic unit. Primavera as a whole seems to be a meditation on different representations of beauty and femininity, you think. There is so much happening in this scene, but beauty and vitality are clear, overarching themes. The furthest figure to the left is the god Mercury. His stance resembles that of Michelangelo's famous sculpture of David. Mercury wears winged sandals, a red robe, a helmet, and a sword. He reaches into the sky with his right arm and pushes away the incoming clouds, ensuring an eternal spring. He gazes up to the heavens and away from the other figures. In ancient Roman mythology, Mercury was the messenger of the gods. He was also considered to be the god of medicine, trade, abundance, and economic success. In this painting, Mercury is meant to symbolize the young Lorenzo, and it has been suggested that the man served as the model for the god. It is also believed that Flora represents Lorenzo's soon-to-be wife. Together, the three graces and Mercury are representative of late spring. After taking time to contemplate each figure in the painting, as well as the overall symbolism, you take a step back and close your eyes. You are in awe of the beauty unfolding all around you and the unique opportunity to step inside this famous work of art and witness it come to life. The smell of fresh roses, lilies, and other flowers is delightful and inspiring. The abundance of flowers and fruit, fresh green grass, and leafy trees creates a heavenly garden. You feel a slight breeze against your skin and realize that Flora has just strewn a new handful of flowers at your feet. Delicate pink rose petals blanket the earth all around you. Mercury pushes another cloud away, ensuring the sun can shine on the scene unobstructed. You see the three graces twirling around in harmony, stepping lightly on the petal-blanketed earth. Their silken dresses and golden curls billow in the breeze. Cupid hovers in the sky above, drawing his arrow back, while Chastity dances, blissfully unaware below. The scent of orange blossoms, fresh grass, sweet flowers, and spicy laurel wafts around you. It's all so beautiful, like a dream. You make eye contact with Venus once more, thanking her for welcoming you into this vibrant scene. You feel a deep sense of appreciation for the messages imparted through this masterfully composed narrative scene. The weaving of symbols from literature, philosophy, and classics. The rumination on beauty and how it can be depicted in various ways. The transformative power of love. The allusions to the powerful ruling family that commissioned the painting. The vibrant use of color. An expertly constructed composition of space. You appreciate the transformation from winter to spring, from maiden to bride to mother, from Venus to Mary, from literature to visual art. The metamorphoses throughout the painting are brimming with the energy of spring, new life, potential, growth, transformation, and beauty. This is the season of rebirth, eagerly anticipated through long winter nights, finally embodied here in all its glory. There's so much to meditate on in this one painting. No wonder it is considered to be a masterpiece of the entire Renaissance. You sit for a moment, contemplating all of this and allowing it to integrate into your mind and heart. You wish that you could stay here forever, inhabiting this ideal spring day, witnessing beauty and love dance around you. Venus catches your eye as if to tell you that you can come back any time you like. You are welcome here. You can always return to this beautiful scene in your mind's eye. You thank her for her kindness and decide to stay just a little longer. You find a nice spot and lie down on the grassy meadow, surrounded by the scent of fresh flowers. The grass is soft, and the sun shines gently on your skin, imparting its warmth. Your body yields to the softness of the earth, relaxing. Flora tosses another handful of roses around you as you ease into rest. Your body relaxes more and more with each breath. You feel safe here, welcome here, inspired here. It's time for sleep and rejuvenation. Time to rest in the most beautiful, heavenly spring garden. The dreamy images in your mind are peaceful as you drift off to sleep. Good night.